Hey guys, welcome back to this week's demonstration of the API for the school management I created. This API, there are about two collections here, students and courses, and about 10 endpoints with up to 25 schemas. All right, let us go through the demonstration from the Swagger UI so that you see how they are working perfectly. We'll try to get all the endpoints by checking them here. Okay, so we go with the first one that will get all the students by clicking here. We click on try it out, execute, then we'll see all the students in the database. Now there are about 8 students here. Let's move to the next endpoint, which is posting a student. All right, so click on try it out. I already added the model that should be followed here. So in the model, let's edit it to the new student that we want. So let's say this person is George. Then this is Osmond. Now let's add this person's reg number to be 033. Now George Osmond is in SS1. Let's leave those details like that. Change the email to George. Okay, I didn't write it correctly. So let's leave it now. We'll update it in the course of updating. So let's just see that this one is working. George Osmond has been successfully created. All right, let's use this ID to get his details. While clicking here, get students by ID. Click on try it out first. Then add the ID here. Execute. All right, this is George Osmond's details. We'll copy it so that we'll edit it to make it correct. All right, we'll get to the next point, which is put. Click on try it out. I already added this model here so that we'll use it to follow suit, but let me add the ID here, remove these details. One thing about this project is that it has included the data validation as well as the error handling. Let's go ahead and execute this file and we'll see it work. All right, it has been updated successfully. George Osmond, all those details. All right, let us use his ID to delete it. Anyway, if I don't want to delete this one, I could delete other ones I have in the database that I do not want. So let us check all these details here. Who did I want to delete now? Okay, let me delete Leonardo Justice. Maybe that Leonardo Justice is no longer my student. Then I don't need his details again in the database. I could just use that ID to delete it. All right, so we click this here, click on try it out, then add the ID here, then click on execute. When we check the database, these students have been removed from the system. That's the response message. So it went successfully. If we check from the system, the Leonardo Justice will no longer be there. All right, let us go to the courses to try the endpoints here. So you click on execute to get all the courses. Now we'll see all the courses in the database. Currently, there are about 5 courses. Okay, so let us try posting a course. To register a new one, we click on try it out, then use this format that I've added here, or let's say government GOV 201 GOV 201. Let's say it is for those in SS2, then it's no longer in sciences but arts. Now the name should be government. All right, let's say Bamidele is the teacher, and let's still leave it this way so that we'll update it later. Execute. So this has been successfully created with this ID. So let's get the ID, then click on try it out. Remember, if you don't click on try it out, you won't be able to post anything in this field. Okay, so let's click on it, try it out, then paste the ID, execute. Now, when we get all these course details, we would copy it too, so that we would update it. So click here, try it out, then change these details to what we have for this particular person. Take this ID into this base, which must be there. Then let's change this from basic mathematics to essentials in government for senior secondary students. Okay, let me remove this timestamp because it's what I added from the code. Okay, and then remove this comma. If I add it, okay, let me say I remove this ID, it will not go through because the data validation entails that the ID must be added there. Okay, so if I execute, it will show me that ID is required. And if I add any other thing here, maybe comma, this is not a valid JSON file format. So if I click on it again, it will show me that the parameter, the body is not in a valid JSON format. All right, now that I've removed that comma, I would execute it and you would see that this would be updated successfully. All right. To delete this course, maybe I would also want to delete another course in the database as not particularly this one that I created. So let us go to this particular place that we got all the courses. Check any one that I no longer need. Okay, I get this ID, I copy it, then go down to the endpoint for deleting the course. Try it out, click on this, then click on execute. We would notice that that course will be deleted. So it's showing that the course is deleted. All right, if we go back to this getting all the courses again, we would see that it has been deleted, that further mass is no longer there. This is the further mass that I copied its details, and it's coming after GST 101, which is English. All right, so let me execute this action again and see if it will still be there or not. So getting all the courses, execute. It's obvious it's no longer there. The further mass was coming after GST English. All right, so thank you for paying attention and for reviewing this submission, for following till this end. Please try to hit the notification bell, subscribe, like, and share with your persons. So thank you. All right, see you in the next video.